Today is International Women's Day. This special day is set apart to celebrate the womanhood and to honor and recognize the value of women all over the world. Womanhood is a gift from God. As we celebrate the goodness of God on this special day, let us see how we as Christian women show gratitude to our God through our lives. Today, let us focus on the life of a faithful woman disciple of Jesus. She is none other than Mary of Bethany, sister of Martha and Lazarus, the family that Jesus loved. She is not mentioned among the 12 disciples of Jesus. She is not mentioned among the other women disciples, mentioned in Luke chapter 8, verses 1 to 3. But she was a faithful disciple who not only showed her gratitude while Jesus was on earth, but also encouraged Jesus to take up the cross. Mary is first mentioned in Luke chapter 10, verses 38 to 42. There we are told that Mary stood at the feet of Jesus, listening to him. She was a great listener who stood at the feet of Jesus, learning from him. Secondly, Mary is mentioned again in John chapter 11 in the resurrection narrative of Lazarus. When Mary heard that Jesus had returned to Bethany, she ran to the place where Jesus was, fell at his feet, and said, "Lord, if you had been here, my brother would not have died." Again, we see Mary at the feet of Jesus, pouring her heart to him. Jesus was so moved with her petition, went to the tomb, and raised Lazarus from the dead. Thirdly, we meet Mary again in John chapter 12, where she anoints Jesus just 6 days before the Passover. She again stood at the feet of Jesus, pouring a very expensive oil on Jesus' feet and wiping his feet with her hair. The oil or perfume she used to anoint Jesus was a very expensive one. The spikenard perfume is said to be made in India out of the Jatamansi herb, plentifully grown around the Himalayas. It was not only a perfume, but also a medicine used for mental healing. And it says that she did not apply a little bit of it, but broke the jar which contained half a liter of that costly oil and poured out the whole perfume or oil on Jesus' feet. The aroma of the perfume filled the whole house where they were. Of course, this loving act of Mary was criticized by Judas, one of the 12 disciples, who later betrayed him. Judas Iscariot valued the alabaster jar of perfume for 300 pieces of silver, equivalent to a year's wage of a laborer. But in just 4 days from then, he valued and sold Jesus for just 30 pieces of silver. Who was the true disciple, Mary or Judas? Mary was the true disciple who loved Jesus truly. Jesus commended her by saying that she has anointed him for his burial. Hence, it was a prophetic act that she performed. Whether knowingly or unknowingly, she anointed Jesus in advance for his burial. Mary did not only show her love and gratitude to Jesus, but prepared him for the great task God has entrusted him to take. Mary of Bethany is not mentioned among the women who followed Jesus from Galilee to Jerusalem, or among the women who stood at the cross, or among the women who went to the tomb. She did not have to do it because she has already done her duty while Jesus was alive. This is a prophetic act that she had performed. Yet how did she know what was going to take place? Mark 4:11 says that Jesus has promised to reveal his secrets of the kingdom to his disciples. Jesus chose 12 for 3 primary purposes, as stated in Mark 3, verses 14 to 15. One purpose was to be with Jesus, that is to sit with him and to spend time with him. Hence, we see that Mary qualifies to be a disciple of Jesus, who first sat at his feet and learned. Secondly, who sat at his feet and poured out her heart before the Lord. And thirdly, who sat at his feet and ministered unto him. My dear sisters in Christ, on this beautiful day of ours, let us dedicate our lives to be faithful disciples of Jesus. Jesus is not satisfied with us being mere believers, but wants us to be his disciples by abiding in his word, as stated in John 8, verses 31. As we have entered the season of Lent this year, let us dedicate our lives to sit at the feet of Jesus daily and wait on him in learning, lifting our prayers and petitions before him, and serving him like Mary of Bethany did. Let us thank God for the costly sacrifice that God has offered in Jesus Christ for the ransom of many. May God bless you all.